Hello everyone, welcome back to the Grim Dawn walkthrough directed build. Since nobody volunteered any suggestions or ideas at the end of the last episode, we're just going to pop right on into Ultimate and we're just going to do this the old-fashioned way. I don't want to give up on the build that we have so far. Why is my mouse having a problem? There we go. And we'll just go on ahead and handle this the classic way, just carefully, slowly. Start doing the totems, not the totems, the shrines. Now, this is something of a last-ditch gamble for the character, because in Ultimate we will obviously have a higher chance of getting new items, but on the other hand, of course, our resistances are going to be decreased even more, so that is going to put a bit of a damper on the proceedings. So this will be something of a interesting time. We're going to have to more heavily invest in the idea of doing or dying. So we will have to take this very smart. Now, at the early game, obviously, because these enemies are extremely weak, even considering Ultimate level, and considering that these enemies will, frankly, be slow enough to not really be a serious threat, it's going to be somewhat deceptive in the early game here as to the actual present threat level of these enemies. But do not be fooled. This will ramp up very quickly in terms of potential danger level here. As you can see here, although I actually pulled that off fairly well, but yeah, we're basically gambling on the idea that we can find better equipment at this point than the enemies will be able to kill us with beforehand. Essentially. Paid off almost immediately. Pretty nice pants. We're clearly, I mean, we'll lose some, but at this particular junction, we'll lose some piercing and bleeding as well, but we're overcapped on both of those at this point in time, so the loss of those isn't a huge deal. We also do not have the stats for that, so we're going to go ahead and wait on that a little bit. We will definitely be equipping that, though. Obviously, still, we're not receiving much in the way of experience. That's fairly obvious. But that is okay, because it's all going to be in the quests. As long as we play this smart. Ideally, before you switch to this, you want to ideally be level 70, so yeah, I am taking a pretty huge risk here, going in at 56, but the way that it was working out in Elite at that point in time, it was just not good. I need the shrines for this particular combination. If I'd played a different combination, maybe I could have done it. Possibly. But, again, there's no guarantee of that. What it basically comes down to is I could have gone into the Mammoth content. That could have worked feasibly. But, again, there's no supreme guarantee there that necessarily would have worked. So it would have still been a risk. This is really going to be the testing moment here. So far, so good. Requires a good bit of running around, throwing stuff around. But he's not able to keep up with me well enough that he poses a serious threat. And there I go. Alright. So, essentially, it's just a matter of starting to get those shrines, starting to do what we need to do, getting the damage we need. That's what it's going to come down to. That's what we need to start getting to. You just gotta keep on trucking. Let's see if I can overcome the handicap of not having something lined up for every segment of the leveling up process. Again, with directed improv builds, you ideally want something you can equip pre-lined up, and I don't have everything I need for that. So this is something of a unwise attempt. I think I can do it, but I may not be able to. But we'll find out. Alright. So we're just going to basically be playing Ring Around the Rosie with this guy. That was unfortunate. Nope. Stunned for too long. Thank you. Dodge the stun. There we go. Good. Run this. Get rid of you. Essentially speaking, the only time that you're going to die with a ranged character is if you get slowed or stunned for too long of a period of time. And you can't get away from the attacks that you need to get away from. That's what it comes down to, with ranged characters anyways. Come on, there you go. He'll be dying soon. There we go. Alright, so at the very least, that's the end of the enemy reinforcements all over the place. So we should be able to clean up from here pretty easily. Unless they go and run like that. There we go. If I had a shield, that would have been really nice. Which, that's not the way we're going. Okay, we can go this way. Alright. Clean out this area. Good. Take care of 2 zombies with 1 eyeball. Oh, you're still alive. Whoops. There we go. Oop, that was not as good as I was hoping for. I missed my shot. I was going to try to get it between the 3 of them, but I completely whiffed that. Okay. I had some extra experience we can go and grab. I want to use the rift, though, so I can at least get that open. I'm going to go ahead and pick a fight with these people, because I know I can take him out with that. And here we go. Just got to play it smart. Oh, you're an actual zombie. Hold on. I thought he was just one of those dead bodies just hanging on the whatever. Good. Alright. Go back and report Valdis, just so we can get that experience. It won't get us to level up either way, so we're actually not going to. We'll just save that up for when we kill the reanimator. Yeah, you know what? I can take you on. There you go. We'll go up this way because there's usually crystals, and I like crystals. There's no crystal here today. Alright. Anyone else? No? I'm kind of surprised. Usually there's 2 groups, 2 waves. Oh, they're coming. You see them in the upper right corner? They're already coming for me. Alright. That could be interesting. Depends on how that's timed. There we go. Thank you. No. Good. No, you can just go away now. Whoop, hello. There we go. Okay. My 8th resistance must not be high enough. What is my 8th resistance? while we're here. 25%. Yeah, that's way too low. Pretty good amount of experience, but it could be better. Alright. Actually, what we really should do, considering that we're in Ultimate, and we already know for a stated fact that we are going to be having a need for reputation bonuses from Devil's Crossing, we're just going to go ahead and grab a bounty while we're here. Okay, Rostov the Aether Flame. Yeah, that's a pretty fair distance away, so we won't have to worry about that for a while, unfortunately. It's unfortunate that that was such a distant bounty, because that's all the way going to be the Four Hills, which we're obviously nowhere near at this point in time. Let me just almost rip out my headset, that's fine. So that's a bit of an unfortunate... I could have just ignored it, but that's fine. We'll make it work. Actually, yeah, we can just straight up take you on, that's fine. I did not want to run forward like that, thank you. There we go. There we go. Nice and clean. I don't do cold damage. So that's a fairly moot point, but... okay. So, the Reanimator Kizog will be fairly interesting. No, we're not going to have any running zombies coming at me here. No. We don't do that here. There we go. We learned our lesson from last time. There should be fewer of these guys over here. Yeah, they're already actually all dead, so that's nice. Okay, bad timing there. Actually, bad location. There we go. You can see how many monster infrequents I'm getting just from being an ultimate. It's very nice. Oop. There we go. Use the Constitution, he healed up. Nah, we'll be fine. Hey, Kazog, how you doing? Run over here. Fortunately, you're an ethereal, and we have everything we need for this. Oh yeah, we're gonna clear this easy. And goodbye. Nice Kizog skull. That's actually a good one. No, actually, it's a crap one. Never mind. That's BS. Get our first shrine. After this short message from our sponsor. Okay, well, we'll just do that then. It's just so it's out of the way. Alright. We good? I thought I got slapped by a zombie. Alright, so what we're essentially going to go for here, because of our combinations, we're just going to go for these two. And it's a nice, clean, quick, easy pair to get, because this requires red and green, this requires red and green. This requires a little bit more green, but they require the same amount of red. So it's not really that big of a problem. And we have a lot of different ways in which we can go about doing this. I usually, for this combination, will go with the Fiend. Even though there is a certain amount of pet increases, that's fine, because we at least have the option of going into the Hellhound. The Flame Torrent is really nice for those times when you're just stuck amongst a lot of enemies. Throw this onto Blackwater Cocktail or Dreeg's Evil Eye, and you will find this triggering a lot. Besides the fact all along the way it's increasing fire and chaos damage, which is kind of the focal point of our build right now, so that's fine. This is really, it's these kinds of things right here, the increase in resistances, that you really need, and that's really the problem that I was having with the Elite. With a melee character like the Taken, it's less of a concern. But for a ranged character, it is more important to have these. Oh, let me rephrase that. A ranged solo character needs these kinds of things more. Just as increased damage here, obviously increased resistances. After we get the Fiend, it's going to be a fairly interesting question of what we go for next. I do want to eventually make my way up to Soil's Witchblade because this is chaos and fire damage all over the place. It's a great time. And then you get the Eldritch Fire, which is fantastic. By the way, this is a big deal, the reduction in fire and chaos resistance. This is one of the things that will really help you punch through chthonic enemies that, as you saw earlier on with this walkthrough, that you saw me have such a problem with. This is really important for this combination. Hugely important. So this will give us some of what we need for that. We could splash into the Mantis for the piercing damage. It's not a focus of the setup, but it does provide us with some nice resistances, increased pierce damage. Obviously, since we're using two-handed ranged, and all ranged weapons do piercing, this isn't a bad thing, although we won't really be needing the purple so much. We could, in theory, splash into Ugol over here, except we don't do cold damage, which is kind of a problem. We could also theoretically go into the Dying God as well. That's not a entirely bad thing if we wanted to, because it would be pretty easy to splash in here. We could grab the Viper and then go into some pretty heavy blue. We could grab the Messenger of War, get some nice fire retaliation damage, as well as some fantastic move speed here. Mostly it's fire retaliation, granted, but it would help us get around and get away from problems, and it would punish those enemies that do get into melee range. Considering I am using two-handed, I'm probably not going to go into that. I might go into the Kraken. That might be a good idea. We are going to be needing some green anyways. This is for two-handed ranged or melee. That's a pretty substantial boost in damage across the board here, so that would probably be a pretty good pickup. We could theoretically go into either the Rat or the Eye. That's really ultimately going to be up to me. I haven't decided mentally yet. This would be really good. Requires a ranged weapon. He also does some pretty impressive bonuses to attack speed, damage, some health drain. It's a pretty good time over here. I will probably get him. It would actually be worth going into the Mantis just to have easy access to the Hydra. Maybe go into the Viper. He gives you some pretty interesting bonuses to specifically the energy leech here, the energy absorption. The reduction to the enemy's elemental resistances doesn't really matter so much for this specific build, but it is pretty interesting. That would help us get a little bit closer there. Maybe we go into the Lizard. I'm not really leaning towards the Lizard, although the increased health effects here would be fairly nice. But I'm not necessarily sure it would be a strict necessity. I may not even go into the Viper. I may just splash points in for the Lizard here, and then go for the Kraken. Or, just boost up the Crossroads temporarily, grab the Kraken, and then pull out of the... it would be really effective. Would be going into the Viper, temporarily going into the Lizard or something pretty easy. Is there any other red-blue, though? Oh, there's this. That's pets, which we don't mind so much. But that requires some white, and we're not going into that. We don't do that here. We don't need it. It just wouldn't be a very valuable usage of... Messenger of War could do it. But that requires purple, which we aren't gonna... We'll splash a little bit of purple. That requires 7 points. We wouldn't really... By that time, we'd already be into the Kraken, so that doesn't make much sense. I'm trying to figure out... Vitality resistance. Attack damage conversion. The Revenant might be a good choice, honestly. 8 red? Yeah, we'll already be having the 8 red at that point anyways. Actually, with the Revenant, we could eventually pull out the plus 5% health from Crossroads. That would be fairly sweet. Okay, yeah, we have a pretty grand plan here. I have a rough idea now where I want to take this. Alright. Good enough. So we'll definitely be playing around with that a decent bit. Now we're just going to stick around here just to clear out the remaining Aether Crystals, because I really like aether crystals. I'm kind of paranoid about not having enough of these. Good. Alright. So far this is turning out okay. That worked out. Alright. Good. Pop into Devil's Crossing. And report in everything. Do I have the dynamite on me? Oh no, I need the aether crystals first, which I do have. I have the dynamite, and I don't have the scrap, but we can grab that. Okay. Here we go. We need to grab the scrap. Need to sell a lot of this stuff. That's right. We need 3 scrap, I think. Yes. Alright, so let's sell some of the stuff we don't need right now. This is a terrible skull. That's not great. It's not worth keeping right now. That's fine. These are both level 50. They do roughly the same thing. This one has a much higher internal trauma increase. Better physical increase too, so we'll sell this one. Oh wait, I need those pants. The rest of this we can sell. That's fine. No, we need that too. Oh, we need that too. Pardon me. I keep trying to sell that. I need to put that in storage. I'm going to go ahead and put that in storage now because I keep trying to sell it. The part of the problem there is that I don't have the space for it, really. Those are spares. Need to put that in there. Need to put this here. Alright, I see you. Put that there. Okay. Alright, I don't know why you're slapped around so weirdly. What is this? I can make this work. That's not how I want to make that work. There we go. Alright. No, there we don't go. What are you doing? Let me see. No, that's not going to work. Really? You automatically default to trying to use up as much space as possible, and it's very stupid. What is this? Really? Why are you stupid? Alright. No, see, this doesn't make sense. It keeps auto-sorting it in a really idiotic way. Like, if you didn't do weird, stupid things with the setup here. You refuse. Okay. That's idiotic. You know what? Whatever. That organization is stupid. The auto sort sometimes is just really annoying. There was clearly enough space where I could have crammed all that in there. Not even a problem. But no, auto sort doesn't feel like doing it. Thank you. Alright, give that to you. Okay, good. Good. Alright, here we go. This is another interesting time. We have everything we need, I think, to safely maneuver this. Yeah, I think we can get this done without too much trouble. Lay one of these down just in case. Oh, you're durable. Alright. There we go. Perfect, alright. Hello, excuse me? You do have the audacity. Oops. There we go. Okay. That was interesting. Good shot, me. Good job. Ha! Just in time. Where'd my eyeball go? Oh well. Problem solved. Who cares? No one. This is just you? Did I just throw an eyeball at you for absolutely no reason? I think yeah. Whoop. Okay. The speed spotters are upsetting. Shoot! Thank you. There we go. Goodbye. Everything is back under control. I think we can get this done. There we go. Yeah, we can get this under control. I think switching to Ultimate was the smart choice here. That's all the fight you've got? Nope, there you all are. I was wondering where you were. There we go. Good, excellent. And we'll just... Alright. Oh, I was not expecting that much poison damage. That's on me. That's completely on me. I underestimated them. 51. It's very meh. I could have survived if I'd had the reflexes to slap down a healing potion, but I did not. Okay, good. Whew. Then we have Slith everywhere, which is fine. It's narrow pathways. It's where we're ideally all set. There we go. You're there for some reason, alright. That was kind of strange. He was stuck. Not sure why. Paralyzed with fear, I'm sure. Whoop. Oh. That was a bad shot. Oh, I knocked it. Okay. Nice job. Alright. Boom. Thank you. Nice. Clean. Well placed. Good. We'll go up this way because sometimes there's a totem. It doesn't look like there's going to be because the map would have probably told me by now, but it's whatever. I'm in the habit anyways, so why not? Good, a slith necklace. Very good. I might actually stop and kill the others just to see if they drop necklaces. Is that a hero or is that... No, that's just a pure blood. No, none of that. Yo, I need necklaces. Give up your necklaces. You. Yes. If I can grab all three of my slith necklaces now, that'd be fantastic. There we go. Hey now. That's what I'm talking about. That's nice. That's a beautiful thing. Alright, well that's all set at least. He's active. Look at him on that minimap. He's already spazzing out. See if we can take out the slip ahead of time. So we can actually do a nice little running circuit thing going on here. Hold on. Don't ever cut across that other area if you're trying to avoid him. He will see you guaranteed and chase you. I'm not ready for him to chase me yet. I wanted to clear out these bozos first, or at least start on these bozos. So probably notice the commotion. Probably. There we go, yep. Take care of you. Perfect. And then we have a couple of stragglers up here, but these are regular guys, so it's kind of whatever. Oh, that hit me. I didn't think it was going to. Nice miss, loser. Very nice. This is so smooth. Hello. Yeah, stand in all of my everything for a little while longer, please. Nice. Nothing in those, alright. Would you get spooked? What are you doing, guy? That was bad. I mean, it still damaged him a little bit, but it was not nearly as much damage as maybe I could have eked out if I'd aimed that better. Ah, that was a good dodge. Probably not intentional, but good dodge either way. No, that might be intentional. Take your swing and a miss, eh? Okay, there we go. Got his ring, which is nice. No, the Shrewd Rowari belt, excuse me, is better for me. At this point in time. Oh, wow. I think that's better than this pair of pants. It's not got as much armor, obviously, but the resistances are absolutely awesome. Yeah, we're equipping those. That's just absolutely, but forget this. As nice as those resistances are, and the fact that it increases Granada, which I don't use, this isn't bad. I am somewhat concerned about the lower resistances. The vitality resistance is nice. The poison acid resistance drop is probably going to wind up being fatal in the short and long term. The pierce resistance is a problem. We're not going to equip this. I'm losing too many resistances I really need. Gonna go right into that for the extra damage. Alright, very nice. Very nice. Back up we go. have our conversations. Perfect. Now, at this particular junction, we're going to play it pretty close to standard, I guess. We're not going to explore everywhere, we're just going to go to specific points, beeline to various things, and take care of what needs to be taken care of. Just killing whatever we need to kill because it's in the way. Very nice. Okay, that was uncalled for. Those gravestones were not in my way. I don't know how I hit those, but okay, sure. Give me that food ration. I need that. Whew, alright. Wait a minute. Why does it say there's a ruined shrine? Oh, I know where that is. Yeah, I know where that is. That is the hidden path, which we're not quite ready for. I want to get my poison acid resistance higher. Hello. You have a whole bunch of cronies, don't you? Alright. There we go. Get out of here. Whew. Wow, resistances are not nearly high enough. Interesting ring. The pierce resistance, poison acid resistance, and elemental resistance are all nice, but that poison acid resistance is way too high, in all honesty, and the resistances I get from my current rings are good enough where I don't want to replace either of them with that. Nah, no, we're going to take care of you now, because you're going to be a problem. You're always a problem child. I hate Furies. Yeah? There we go. I don't do aether damage, that's kind of irrelevant. That's almost good. Alright, at this point, since we killed him, we're just going to waltz on down here. We're not going to go in the cave, there's no reason to. Bernard's slightly chewed buckler is the only monster infrequent in there that's worth anything. There's no shrine or anything in there. It's just not worth it. We're going to see if we can find a cave that means usually pretty easy experience. The cave where you rescue the abducted rovers. That's usually pretty easy experience. It's not a difficult little cave to get through. Lots of experience to be had there. Free Rawari reputation increase, which is nice. No, shoot them. Thank you. My energy is low, but I can still throw a Blackwater cocktail. Don't question it. I don't need another one of those, thank you. I don't know why I bothered going so gung-ho on those, but okay. Now, the reason why we want to go to the left side usually is because it does give us access to what, personally, I have found to be one of the much more common spawn locations for the cave in question. So you can usually find that on the right-hand side in the upper right corner, actually, here. There we go. Yeah. And you're all gone. There it is. This is the cave in question. This is usually where it spawns for me. Sometimes it'll spawn in the opposite corner, the upper left corner. Sometimes it won't. It really depends on how it feels. Sometimes it'll spawn in the other area. I can't remember its name off the top of my head. We're about to enter it. Alright. That's interesting. Don't need that, though, right now. Terrible pants. Pants are not nearly strong enough for what I need. We're just going to loop around and see if we can finish off the bandits and get potentially another level up. No. Not even close. Ah, well. That's alright. And we're just going to waltz on over here. And, yeah, alright. Gotta deal with these guys, obviously. We're gonna have to deal with the enemies towards the rift, but that's generally not a problem because they're taking the time to come up out of the ground, so it usually is pretty easy to take care of that problem. Did I walk back into that? It's hard to tell sometimes. There we go. Boom. Alright, Constitution's healed us up. We can lay down absolutely everything we want right here. Nice nifty little level up. We're actually going to apply that really quick first. There we go. Alright. Yeah, what else you got? You're gonna stand there and just throw things at me, huh? Alright, I'm actually cool with this. There we go. Now we're going to go on ahead and drop off our slith necklaces because we can. That is again going to be completely free experience. Alright, so we've got that. I'm actually going to end the episode really after this primarily because I want to cut these episodes down to less than an hour. So this is about 45 minutes, but I do want to talk a bit more in detail about constellations because this is the primary reason I was having an issue in Elite, and this is the reason why I'm slowly starting to turn it around here in Ultimate. Now, again, just to reiterate, the reason why I was saving the shrines for Ultimate is because they provide more experience growth in Ultimate. primary reason there. And if you're thinking, well, you're only level 6, Professor, you're never going to make it level 100, don't forget that I have to do bounties in order to get my reputation with the various factions up to an acceptable level. So I will be doing those as well, so you will see me do bounties with this character, which is fine. I did want to do bounties at some point. I wasn't necessarily expecting it to be this soon, but here we are. Anyways, essentially, the main point here is I'm going to go into the Fiend, definitely, because I've been toying around with some ideas since my first initial look. So we're going to go into the Fiend. That'll give us 3 red and 3 green. This needs 4 red and 6 green, so we need more. Now, we'll actually next go into the Mantis, I think, would probably be best, giving us 5 red and 3 green, which will give us a lot of this. We need more green, obviously, at this particular juncture. Now, I'm probably going to go specifically into the Eye of the Guardian. I actually might go into the Eye of the Guardian instead of the Mantis, because this poison damage, the retaliation damage, the chaos damage increase would be really good. So this might actually be something I go into instead. So let me play this out in my head. 3 red, 3 green, go into this, 3 green, 3 purple. That would give us, no, that would be 6 green, pardon me. That would give us the Hydra, which would bring us to 3 purple, which we wouldn't necessarily need past the Hydra. We would have, at the end of the Hydra, 5 green, 5 red, and a good 9 green. And let me see. We could do you, 9 green. Not quite there yet, are we? Oh, we would have you available. Are you just pets and poison acid? I'm not against the pet increases. Except the Hellhound doesn't do poison damage, which is kind of a problem. So that's not something we're going to want. Huh. We wouldn't have the blue... Well, we would be working towards the blue theoretically. At this particular point, once I have the Fiend, the Eye of the Guardian, and the Hydra, it then becomes a question of what do I want to get next. Do I want the Mage Eye? Maybe. That is fire damage, which is nice. We'll put him as a maybe. But at the very least, I'm just going to discuss the short term for now because I don't want to stretch this out too long. First, I'm going to go into the Fiend for the fire chaos damage, eventually getting Flame Torrent, which will help me survive against really anything that comes in melee range. Eye of the Guardian will be next, which will eventually end up with Guardian's Gaze, which is going to be another closer area defense against any enemies that run up on me, which, when you're playing solo, ranged, is guaranteed to happen. Then I'm going to go into the Hydra, and then from the Hydra I should be able to get Soleil's Witchblade, which is primarily important for Eldritch Fire. With this combination, this isn't optional. You need this. At this particular junction, it then becomes a question of, do I actually want my boy Spooky Scary Skeleton over here? Because at this point, once I'm done with Soleil's Witchblade, I'll have 10 green, and I believe I'll have 3, 5, 6 red. So, do I want to go into something else, potentially? That becomes the question. Where do I get my remaining 2 reds from? There's a bunch of different sources. We could go right into the Viper, get the 2 red, and then theoretically go into the Kraken. Maybe. But by this point, since we would already have all the green, it might be worthwhile going into the one crossroads, going into the Lizard, and then going into the Kraken after that, and then after the Kraken is done, drop the crossroads. Whether or not I drop the Lizard too, or if I drop the Lizard and go into Viper, that's an entirely different question. I would theoretically have to at least minimum go into both Lizard and Viper, and then take out the Lizard after the fact. I could also do that. There's a couple of different options there. This wouldn't be bad, but it's not necessarily something I strictly need. Although in the one move, I could get Yeah, that might be worthwhile. Go into Crossroads, go into the Gallows, drop the Crossroads, go into the Kraken. Aether damage, don't do that. So that's a possibility. Grab the 2. Yep, that would probably be what I'll want to do, is go ahead. Okay, so get the Fiend, get the Eye of the Guardian, get the Hydra, get Soleil's Witchblade. At that point, I pivot, grab the Blue Crossroads, go into Gallows, drop the Blue Crossroads, go into the Kraken, get the Kraken. That's the remaining red we need. We have 10 out of the 18 green we need, so we could go into the Magi at that point. And then after that, we're just looking for whatever greens. We could go into the Rat. That's not a bad idea. We could go into you, because I believe your Vitality... Yeah, we would already have the purple. We wouldn't have all of the purple, I'll admit that quite freely, but we could put 1 point into the purple Crossroads here and get this, which would be Acid Vitality, which isn't obviously the focus of the build, but it would be pretty effective. Not that I necessarily have the retaliation damage, so this may be more investment than I'd be really looking for. Cold, which we don't do. So we could actually also go into the Rat. We could go into the Scorpion, which is actually a pretty good time. This might actually be really worthwhile. Get that... Yeah, so what we can do... I'm formulating this in my head. Fiend. Eye of the Guardian, Hydra, Soleil's Witchfire. Temp 1 point in Crossroads, Gallows. The Kraken. Drop the Crossroads point. Scorpion, Magi. Both of these. And then any remaining points I can put wherever. Maybe I put them in the Rat, I don't know. Rat isn't a bad idea. Yeah, there's a little bit of an emphasis on retaliation damage. I could put it into whatever I wanted at that point, really. Spider, if I was really into it. But that's where I'm roughly going to be looking to take my constellations. That's the plan. So with that being said, thank you all very much for joining me. If you like this, please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, what have you, please leave them down in the comments below. I will read them. And thank you all very much for joining me, and have a great 24 hours.